Hello, I am Addison Morris with the Women's Cannabis Chamber of Commerce, and this is Cannabis Clip Notes with Nancy and Diana, the TarTubes ladies. Nancy and Diana are lifelong innovators, inventors, and disruptors. And at an age I won't mention, they went into the cannabis industry. They started a canna-centric business. They tar tubes. Tar tubes are designed to fit onto a disposable cigarette style filter. The tar tubes filters a significant portion of tar while preserving the cannabis flavor and potency. This saves your lungs, but it also really gives you the true flavor of the cannabis. So, ladies, I am fascinated about your journey because has been very fast, but also from the last two cannabis clip notes we've done. This is the third in the series. I know the process that you went through, and I really respect and admire that because you stayed true to business principles while navigating the cannabis industry, which is a really difficult balance, I think, to maintain. So you mentioned in your first cannabis clip notes about how networking and building relationships that builds businesses was crucial to the launch of TarTubes. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Absolutely. Well, I have always been like the ardent networker. In any professional organization I've been in, we would have a night that we would have to host an idea for the membership, and networking night was always one that I hosted and ran. Um, it's just part of my makeup. So on that note, we reached back to our respective communities. Yeah. But LinkedIn was a huge community for me, and it went back over 15 years. I was an early adopter, and back then I was networking with local businesses. So when TarTubes came into being, the idea of TarTubes came into being. Um, I reached back to these people that I had networked with 15 years ago, and they are the people that came forward to really help us out. Today, they are angel investors. I mean, they didn't invest, but they're very wise about business. They, they're accelerator program managers. Um,
business executives, really business gurus.
Local business groups,
Yeah,
exactly.
we were really lucky. But you have what, over 13,000 connections?
In LinkedIn, yeah, yeah. I was an early adopter and I saw
Yeah.
the value, and it drove business for my other business, Modern Day Scribe, a transcription company, um, which leads into the next area of networking that I was able to do was in my other business. I'm well networked in academia because it's a research transcription company. And a number of those people were, I've stayed connected with for years. And I was very comfortable knocking on the door of our local university and saying, we have this idea. Could you help us with a prototype? So, and then Diana had a network on the nextdoor.com.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood app, and I'm quite active on it. And yeah, we got some support from there, from that arena as well. One dear friend in particular really wrote a beautiful article
She
about
really
us.
did,
It was
yeah.
it was very, very nice. And so yeah, and when
yeah, so we went from academia to our local neighborhood to online connections,
Friends, family.
family, and then we decided also to stay local, and we built
Yes.
relationships with a local nonprofit print shop that has been wonderful, and they produced they printed our insert cards for the package, and that's what our package looks like. And we went to a local packaging company, and they printed the
Yeah, the display
display
box.
box. And these have been very valuable relationships to us because we're getting great customer service, because they appreciate that we're staying local. We always intended to stay local.
Yes,
That
we
was,
actually talked about this right in the beginning, and that was important to us. Community is important to both of us, and we said we're not going to go overseas for anything. We're going to stay in our local area, or at least in Massachusetts.
Right.
You know,
as much as we possibly can.
as
And we
much
have.
as, and we have, up to this point we have,
Yeah.
and
And you know what? We've got people from these companies who have friends in the cannabis business, and they're referring us to those dispensaries. So people are on board. I think building relationships help because we have a product that people believe in. And a number of the people, the major advisors we've had, none of them smoke weed.
no, no, not one.
No. But they get the fact that TarTubes, I'm going to show you what TarTubes is. TarTubes is an adapter that allows this tobacco filter, disposable tobacco filter, to fit with a dispensary size cone tip joint. Ta-da. The result, that much tar. That's a staggering amount of tar. And this is a staggering amount of tar. This is the last 2 weeks of filters that went into a container and not into my lungs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and once people realize that, like when we go into dispensaries, we do some training of the bartenders, and because as much as we are out there, the average person probably has not heard of TarTubes. So if it's just sitting on the shelf somewhere, it's not going to necessarily sell itself. People need to explain, this is what it does, and look at the tar that is not going into your lungs. You're gonna feel better, you're gonna have less cough, and so upselling the product, and yeah, we've done quite a bit
You've
of
done a
training.
particularly great job. She has background in sales, going way back.
Thank you.
And yeah, and I've been impressed. It's been a lot of fun seeing each other's strengths come out as we do these different roles that we keep winding up in, because we are making all these connections, and we're needing to do pop-ups, and people want to. We're in demand.
We're in demand. We are the picture. We are the brand, and people want to know about what it is that we're doing. At least that is the feedback that we have gotten
Yes,
so far.
yes. They want to know our story, and it is a pretty funny story.
It is.
Again, TarTubes came about 3 bong hits into
Yes,
a regular morning smoke session. And here we are.
And just to bring in something funny, this morning we all got together. Nancy came over to our house, and I had just made some canola oil. out of with avocado oil. And so we actually had like hash browns and bacon and eggs with
Cooked in can oil.
cooked in can oil. It was so nice.
We love our job.
We're not exactly hurting.
No. That's been the other, the fun walk we were taking,
Yeah.
meeting people, like-minded people.
Yeah.
I've said before, the people we're meeting in the cannabis industry, now we're building relationships in this world, and it's, yeah, it's easy. I mean, they're just nice people, fun people. We stand out like sore thumbs because we're old people.
Two women.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and also, one is in tie-dye pretty
Yeah.
much all the time.
Yeah.
And
Spouting Grateful Dead lyrics.
yes, need to add that as well. No, things have been going really great, and we hope we were able to explain some of the networking that we have done.
Yeah.
So
I think you also brought up a very good point that it does kind of tie in with networking. I'm always preaching about, as women, we are the face of our brand. And as the face of our brand, we need to be out there representing our brand, not just out in our community or out at events, but also visible online. We need to be more than just an occasional post. Women in the cannabis industry need to do exactly what you ladies are doing. They need to form those connections, just not only within the cannabis industry, but as you were saying, everyone that you talked to were very open and you formed connections with them. Didn't matter that whether or not they consumed, and that opened up more and more doors. And what opened up those doors, you could have sent anybody in there with your little packet and saying, yeah, this is what we have. But to have you, the inventors, the innovators, and I got to say it again, the disruptors, that just being in the cannabis industry, like you said, as a woman, but also as women of a certain age, that is disrupting it. And we need to do a whole lot more disrupting, and we need to do a whole lot more being forward and out there. And we're talking about out there physically and online with our products. Now, this is number 3. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what direction you're going to go in your 4th Cannabis Clip Notes in this series. So for the next Cannabis Clip Notes, do you want to give us a hint of what you're going to talk about?
Well,
Oh, that kind of looks like a no. No.
I like doing things off the cuff, but I think we're bound to cover a little more ground.
Okay. Okay.
Well, okay. Well, we're going to talk about where we go from here.
Okay. So I was going to say, did you want to end with an appropriate Grateful Dead quote?
That just was one, honey. Every time that wheel goes round, we're bound to cover a little more ground.
Okay.
That's okay.
No,
it's wonderful that she explains it.
No, I have to admit, I'm not a deadhead. Yeah, I ate crow on that one, didn't I? Oh, okay, okay, my disruptor friends. I'll just have to wait and see what we're talking about on number 4. And thank you again for doing the Cannabis Clip Notes. And you can see all view the Cannabis Clip Notes by Deanna and Nancy on all of the Women's Cannabis Chamber of Commerce social media, on our website, and on YouTube.